Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I got something to ask you. How many myths of gold making do you know about in World of Warcraft? Well, I've got five of them for you that I'm either going to break, I'm going to shed light on, or say, well, it's a myth, but it's not really a myth. So let's get this thing started. First and foremost, let's get this elephant out of the way really quick, and that is gold makers, gold sellers. Which is which? Are they the same, or are they totally different? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They're totally different. A gold seller is somebody who, or a company that is going around and just, you know, basically strip mining. Um, that's basically what they're doing. Is they're strip mining everything, putting it on the auction house, royally screwing up the economy. This way, they can also go and make a whole bunch of gold, put it on a website, and sell it for real life money. Now, this is against TOS, completely and utterly against TOS. And that's the thing. That's the thing with Blizzard. Blizzard hated it so much that they came up with what is called now the WoW token. You know, people were like, well, you know, hey, I'm going to go buy X amount of gold with X amount of money, and then they had to go to Blizzard and say, I lost my account. Everything that was in my account, I lost it. And most of the time, basically, what had happened was these people they bought gold, and the gold sellers went and did something to be able to get into their account and hacked the account, sold everything, and pretty much, you know, they had to go to Blizzard and say, "Help me." Um, Now, gold makers. Now, what's the difference between these guys and gold makers? One thing is gold makers or gold sellers is, like I said, it's against terms of service. It's also um, it's a very bad thing to say to somebody like me that makes, you know, that is a gold goblin. And I'll get to that in here in a second. Um, Now, what is a gold maker? I want to tell you a little story. There was a guy. His name was Stitch. Really great guy. He started getting into you know, making gold for himself so he could go and make money. So when he went out to do PvP, mythic runs, you know, raiding, that type of thing. This way he had money to spend on all the stuff that he needed for these different things that he was doing. Well, he got tired of people looking at him and saying, well, you know, what you're doing is just absolutely wrong. And he's like, no, we're not these type of people. We are a gold, think of us like gold goblins. You know, goblins in World of Warcraft, what is their favorite saying? Time is money, friend. And that's what um, gold goblins do in World of Warcraft. They take their time. They go into you know, old raids, old dungeons, farm up all kinds of transmog. Um, you know, make go into their professions and make all different types of you know, old transmogs. Also make armor, that type of thing. Put it on the auction house. Not only, you know, to help out the other, the people that don't have the professions, they can go on and do it, and it's a nice symbiote relationship. Now, Gold Goblin went so far, the name of being called a Gold Goblin went so far that Blizzard themselves adopted it, and started calling us Gold Goblins. Until a couple of people, well, a few people, kind of abused it, and a few years back there was, you could go and do, somebody came up with, have one character running six tunes and doing urban urban mining farms on all these characters. Well, they were, I don't care what anybody says, basically what they were doing was they were botting again against TOS, and Blizzard let it happen until there was a few of us going, excuse me, I am not going to go on the auction house and buy buy commodities that are way overpriced when we go out to get the go out and get the commodities that we want, i.e. the herbs, the mining notes. They're gone. We go up to them, we go to farm them, they disappear. The reason is because of these guys that were doing this, and we started screaming, yelling about it. Some of the big some of the big gold goblins were complaining about it. Not complaining about it, but they were basically saying, "Hey, grow up, quit being a a wimp." And we started being louder than them. Dude, do we really want to go down that track? No, we don't. Me as a gold maker or a gold goblin, I just basically want to go and make, just like a lot of us, just want to make enough gold to basically get by in raiding and that type of things, and also help those who are raiding, who are raiding, who are doing mythic pluses, those who are doing, the transmog, doing the dress ups, and they don't have enough time to go out and farm for a coal pet, or a coal mount, or whatever. That's where we're at. This is what we do. So, like I said, is a gold maker and a gold seller the same thing? Oh no! And do yourself a favor: don't call somebody that isn't one a gold seller. Not a good thing. Okay, number two. One of the biggest things that I have been hearing with the myths is you have to have a huge alt army to be a really prosperous gold maker. You don't. When I first started out with TSM and making gold, excuse me, I started out with one character, my main character, my warrior, and a bank all. Everything that my main character did, I sent it to my bank all, sold it on him, and basically, that's what I did until I got to a certain point that I really liked doing this. So I started adding. You don't have to be have a alt army, but if you want to, you can do it. But it's not one of those things that that is required. A lot of people that are out there, they don't want their they don't want their wild time to be another 8-hour work day. They just want to get in there. They want to have fun, that type of thing. Which brings me to the next myth: 24/7 sitting on the auction house to make gold. No. Most of us that are gold makers, we post it, forget it. Um, now, there are people and there were people that would sit, and the reason why this happened is because there would be uh, back before, I want to say, middle during the X pack of Shadowlands. Blizzard went, saw the problem, and they fixed it. Before that happened, basically what you would have is if somebody went and said, saw one of my pieces of transmog up there on the auction house and said, okay, he has got it for this amount. I'm going to undercut it. So basically, what would happen would this person would, here's my post, this person would undercut me, and then another person that would see the two of us would undercut them, and it would keep on going. Or you would have people just look at the piece of transmog and go, no, I'm not going to sell it for X amount of thousands of gold. I'm just going to sell it for 30 gold, which royally messes up the economy in gold making. We won't go in there go to that right now. But basically, what had happened is Blizzard saw that not only were people going and saying, I don't want to be undercut so bad, so I'm going to sit on the auction house and do cancel scans all the time. So these people would sit at the auction house, run a cancel scan, and see anything that was undercut. They would, bring it off the auction house, go to the mailbox, go back to the auction house, repost it, and they would constantly do it, which put a huge, and I mean huge, strain on the servers for Blizzard. And it did a lot of other types of things that I can't off the top of my head remember, but Blizzard got tired of it and said they were going to fix it. Well, the first thing that they did was region region selling, and what that means is all the regions that had any type of commodity that was stackable, like ore, plants, potions, that type of thing. What they would do is you sold it regionally, basically throughout the whole North America, and that would kind of fix what was going on. For a little while, it was still volatile. It would go up and down, and explode, and bottom out, and that type of thing. But after about 6 months to almost a year, it calmed down. Blizzard saw this and went, okay, we're going to do that with everything else, but we're not going to put it in region. We're going to put it with your server itself. And basically, what had happened was, instead of us going and undercutting each other, what it was doing was, if you were the first one on the auction house, you'd be here. Okay, until somebody had the same thing and they put it up on the auction house, because they were the last ones that post. They were the first ones off the auction house. Is it fair? No, not really. But if you want, um, you want fairness, this is the best they could do without having uh, the whole challenge of the undercutting, people sitting on the auction house and draining resources from the servers. So, do I agree with it? Yeah, I do, kind of. But for stuff that sits, that is on my server that is not commodities, I just put it up there for 24 hours, 48 hours, depending on what it is, and I post it and forget it and go on with my life. The but some people don't like it. Sorry, guys, this is the fix that Blizzard had for us because of course we complained about it, and they knew that what the problem was. Excuse me. I love coffee. Okay, we got into the all of that. Well, that was number three. Number four is there are people out there that go and will tell you transmog doesn't sell. I don't know why you're farming for transmog. Transmog doesn't sell. They're right and wrong at the same time. And what I mean by right and wrong at the same time is they're not saying the entire statement. Transmog doesn't sell fast. It's a slow burn investment, and that's what you want in gold making. You want your quick sellers, you want your medium sellers, and you want your slow sellers. And you know, a lot of people don't have the patience for transmog. Transmog can go anywhere between a week to a few weeks to a month. I've got a thing that I know that's on the auction house right now. It's been on the auction house for 6 months. That's fine. Um, some of you may go and say, "Wait a minute, that's a little crazy. You're not making any money after 6 months or a month or whatever." That's a piece of gear that is a transmog that's a couple 100,000 gold. I'm spending silver for it. Okay, silver, whatever. It can stay up on the auction house as long as it wants because I know that a couple of 100,000 gold is going to be coming. Um, the and case in point, I had another weapon. I think it was the Reaver. The Reaver. The first time I crafted, I think it was a Reaver. Um, on my server, I crafted it, put it up on the auction house, and it was a year and 3 months that I had it up there. Now that piece of gear sold for 1.5 million gold because nobody but me was putting it up on the auction house. Okay, 1.5 million for a year and 3 months. Okay, and it came at a really good time when I needed money. And that's one of the things that you got to think about with long-term investments, especially when you're doing transmog. Transmog can be fickle. You can sell things quickly. Um, Now with everything that's going on, especially with uh, you know the war within, we got a lot of different stuff that's coming on, so you don't know what's going to sell and what's not going to sell. For example, I will tell you this. For example, when they went and said grays and whites were going to be transmoggle. I was like, yeah, whatever. And they said, other gold goblins were like, yeah, we're putting them up and they're selling and they're doing really well. I'm like, yeah, come on. It's probably high pop servers, that type of thing, and they're probably sitting there forever. Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Um, from the beginning of this expansion, for those of you who are watching, later on in the future, um, I started doing it. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it, and I started doing it at the War Within. I'm making some bank. um, so for all of you that basically went and said, this is going to be a whole bunch of money, and I looked at him and went, no. Excuse me. Um, so basically, as I was saying, the the whole thing with transmog is that it's a long-term investment. Yes, it will sell, but you have to have the patience for it. And some of you, I'm just gonna look at some of you. You don't have the patience, so you may go and say, "I'm not doing transmog." Then don't sell the transmog. Do whatever you need to do, and let somebody else do it. Lastly, lastly, ladies and gentlemen, is you have to have all kinds of add-ons for gold making. No. Um, I know people that have a couple of add-ons for making gold and that type of thing. In fact, somebody that I know has three. I myself, for gold making, I have 10. But I know other people that have buku amounts of them. So you don't need, a whole buttload of add-ons for this. You do you do what you want to do. That's the whole thing about making gold. You do what you want to do. If you want to go out and just farm, herbs for a couple hours, put them up on the auction house, that's fast gold. It's quick, excuse me. As fast gold, it's a fast investment, and it's quick to get the money back. But it's basically, you have to think about what you're doing. Um, and that's the whole thing about gold making. The myths that I just talked about, I pretty much broke all of them, because it's either people don't understand, or people have an understanding, half of an understanding of what's going on, like transmog. Um, but anyway, as I've said, ladies and gentlemen, one of the big things that gold making does is it allows us to not only do raiding, mythics, do anything that we want to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, make sure you hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. Put a comment down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Remember, happy gold making. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. My name is Drethan, and I am out of here. Bye-bye.